Shall we begin? Shall we begin? You know, I think it was Math Hoffa that asked me. He said, who are you to judge? Who are you to be judging everybody? So am I supposed to sit back and allow the same things destroy me as a child, that had me mentally destroyed as a child all the way up to an adult? Am I supposed to allow the same things that destroyed me to destroy the next generation? Not on my watch. Shall we begin? Shall we begin? Now, let me put this down real quick, right? And get into this topic, right? So once again, Lisa Evers strikes again. In the middle of the night, while you're sleeping, in the wee hours, like 5 o'clock in the morning, Lisa Evers and a team of detectives are gathering.
We're here at a secret undercover location in the Bronx where NYPD detectives are getting ready to launch a manhunt for nearly 24 gang members wanted for serious felonies, including murder. It's a Lisa Evers exclusive. It's before dawn on Wednesday, but NYPD detectives from the Gun Violence Suppression Division, called GVSD for short, are joined by detectives from Bronx precincts and warrant squads for this important mission.
They're gathering to run up in your house 5 o'clock in the morning, to pull your mother out of the bed, throw her on the floor, put her hands against the wall, put your hands against the wall, and cart you out to a jail. To a jail. To a jury of 12, where your life will be judged, and you will figure out, or the judge will figure out, whether you're going to do how Lisa Evers said. Some of these kids that's not even older than 25 years old is going to spend at least a minimum of 10 years in jail, and for what?
A first-hand look at how the NYPD is bringing alleged gang members who terrorized their own community to justice. And now the Bronx DA says they've been charged in a 176-count felony indictment. Nay Benz, police say you're a trigger puller. Police say you're a trigger puller. Is that true? What? Police say you're a trigger puller. Is that
But see, you know the thing that caught my attention the most about this raid is when it actually got to the point where they showed the female. Let me take these glasses off so y'all can see the pain in my eyes, see the struggle in my eyes, see the hurt in the eyes, see the care in the eye, see the love in the eyes, see the compassion in the eyes. See, when you look into these eyes, you see every bit of that. And when I watched on the news them bring the female out, she was 8 months pregnant.
What's going on here?
I love you, babe.
A female suspect who's 8 months pregnant is brought out in handcuffs from an apartment.
The sister's 8 months pregnant. So, y'all following me? At 8 months pregnant, her baby is still in the womb. The baby's first experience in the penitentiary is before it even came into this world. While it was growing and developing in the womb of the mother, the baby already had a taste of prison. Are you not entertained? Who else but me is going to sit down and point that out and break this down? Before this child was even born, it didn't even have a chance. Before this child was even born, it didn't even have a chance. And they say, when you know better, you do better. How do we expect the younger generation to do better when we glorify the same things that destroy us as a people? When we make movies and TV series out of the same things that destroy us as a people. And see, I'm going to make a separate video on this topic so I can show you my point of view, my pain, the things that I've went through in this life. Every time you turn around, there's a best-selling book, best-selling TV show that everybody run home. Ghost, Power, Raising Kanan. You know, it's like, it's a never-ending story. That baby, again, will never know what it's like, or rather, it's like saying the game was rigged. So bad to the point that the baby was adjusted and adapted to the penitentiary before it was born. It knew what the cells sound like. Stand clear of the closing doors on the child. Visitation. COs, can I get some tissue? Is this what we have to promise for each other? These young boys in the streets, they're doing what we bragged about doing 20 years ago, 10 years ago. We passed the same torch of slavery. We passed down the same cells that we was on a countdown to the next visit, to the next court date, to the next commissary, or until we came home amongst our families. We are sitting back and we are watching the police come into our communities in the middle of the night, as they should. And let me stop right here, because when you become a man, when you become a civilian, when you become a father, and you realize that there's nothing that you can do to stop this evil that's happening in these communities that you was raised in, but use your voice. And because you use your voice so good, you were told that you can't even come outside because you might offend the people that's still living like savages.
Important mission. Their mission? Stopping the reign of terror caused by teens, young men, and a few women who engage in running gun battles with their opposition or ops at all hours of the day and night, no matter who's in the way, right in their own community.
These cases are the single most impactful reason that shootings trend downwards.
The targets are 20 members of the Slaughtery gang based out of Slaughtery Playground in the Fordham section of the Bronx.
If you come around from 2 on, that's when it fills up with all the gangs.
Investigators say they're responsible for more than a dozen shootings and attempted murders.
It's almost like they were competing with each other to see who could shoot more times.
The Slaughtery crew, also known by other names like Slaughtery and S-Block, allegedly took aim at their main opponents or ops, other young people, for no good reason. Investigators say the hatred is fueled by inflammatory disses about murdered ops and drill raps posted on social media.
The bus drivers don't want to get offended when I speak. The construction workers are not offended when I speak. The transit workers are not getting offended when I speak. Sanitation is picking up the garbage behind you nasty buzzards. The only niggas that's getting offended when I speak is the real niggas, aka the street niggas that's still holding on to the streets, that don't want to bring no change about. Because if you moved out of the hood, people are not impressed with the hood outside of the hood. If you moved out of the hood, see, the thing is, people in the suburbs is not going to let you sell drugs in their community. So you niggas linger in the hood amongst poverty and pain because there's a lack of love that we have for each other there. And if you ever fall on hard times, y'all could go back to your old ways. Crack pipes, dope fiends, you name it. Y'all could go back to your own ways. So when a dude like me sit up there and say out of my mouth to them young boys that's still standing on the corner, y'all hurting each other. All them young boys airing each other out. How the police said, they might be the worst ever. They might be the worst ever. Why? Because they hurting. Why they hurting? Because the kingpins that came home from jail is back outside, hang out on the block. And my whole thing to you young boys, y'all hurting each other. But these niggas are having dinners and gatherings and hanging out and barbecues in the name of turning your mother and father into a crack fiend. But y'all hurting each other. Nah. Y'all gotta stop turning each other TVs off and rocking each other snot boxes. Y'all gotta turn your energy to the people that hurt you. Like I did. Bambaataa played a part in hurting me, so I turned my energy towards him. But see, another thing that y'all fail to realize, it wasn't just Bam that hurt me. You know what it felt like, me not having a father because my father was turned out? At 13 years old, he was a fiend. He was already affected by the Nicky Barnes era. So whoever was the man at that time, whoever was on top at that time, was responsible for turning my father into a fiend at 13 years old. You think I'm not supposed to have any type of judgment on the same things that destroyed me, that's destroying them? And it's a never-ending story. You know how many dudes right now is sitting up there trying to market their crew, their beef, their life story based off of a true story. But the flip side of that story that they telling is a child that had to go to foster care, a child that had to be babysitted or was left alone because the mother was out there in the streets chasing some drugs. And because of that, that child had become a victim of some of the same things that I became a victim of. The R. Kellys, the Africa Bambaatas. Do y'all not understand the damage that we cause? These young boys out there, some of them ain't gonna never see the light of day again. Some of them, when they come home from jail, by the time they get home, they went in with a baby face. They're gonna come home with gray hairs. And nobody cares. I'll be your Huckleberry. I refuse to sit back on idle time and not say nothing as our children enter the penitentiary. I'm going to say this again. That young girl went to jail with an 8-month-old baby in her belly.
What's going on here?
I love you, babe.
A female suspect who's 8 months pregnant is brought out in handcuffs from an apartment.
That baby didn't even get a chance. Before it even came into this world, it already had a taste of the penitentiary. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, and pay attention to your circle before they hurt you. I'm out.